Josh Heupel revealed the moment when Nico Iamaleava had made it known to him and he had committed to know to himself. Josh Heupel told us the moment he knew this relationship between himself, University of Tennessee, and Nico Iamaleava was broken. Let's talk about what that moment was and what it says about college football. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching the #1 college football show, welcome. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If that is something that you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question below. Do you think Josh Heupel's moment of clarity was the one that you would have had when you also were going, okay, Nico, this needs to come to an end. You're going to go into the portal. We're going to go find a new starting quarterback. And that moment was pretty revealing. As he said at spring practice, and he said publicly, look, when he didn't show up for practice, there's no message, there's no say, there's no nothing. That's when it was for me that, okay, this is done. We can't do it this way. We don't want to do it this way. It is less like an agreeable parting of ways and more like a nasty divorce where irreconcilable differences, which is usually the reason for many divorces, is where they are at. And they had outgrown each other is how this feels, because you have a quarterback whose reality is not the reality of most of the people that work at Tennessee, play football at Tennessee, root for Tennessee. It was, you're on a deal that is paying you $2.4 million. It's a really, really good deal. Even by NIL standards, it's outstanding. And you have come to some sort of conclusion in the reality that you live in that you are worth more, and now is the time to tell us that. And the way to get that point across is not with strenuous, hard communication, but with absence, with neglect, with saying nothing at all, and waiting on the other side, in this case Tennessee, to come to you. Let me tell you something, dog. 2 divorces over here. Each one 6 and 8 years. What you can't do is stop talking. What you can't do is make demands and then stop talking. What you have to do is continue to show up, sit at the table, talk through it if you want it to work. Because the thing that I would tell anyone about relationships, about marriage, about football, about business, it takes 2 people to form a relationship. It takes 2 people. One person can't do that. That's impossible. And if one person does not want to do it, there is no relationship. It's just done. It's dead. And it sucks. It's awful. And if you thought this was something worth saving, you would have shown up to practice. I don't care what kind of advice you're getting. You're going to show up to practice. You know, just because you're in the midst of negotiations doesn't mean you stop doing the work that you are getting paid to do. You know, this idea of the NFL holdout has worked for some in the NFL. Usually, especially if you're a Dallas Cowboy, Jerry Jones comes around to wanting to pay you money because he wants to pay you money, not because he has to pay you money. There are lots of people that say, we'll just trade you or we'll cut you. Either one of those things. And there's parts of the collective bargaining agreement that protect players and, for that matter, ownership from that. But this is not one of those. This is why I don't think Ryan Clark has this one anywhere near right. Blame the NCAA as a guy that doesn't know much about college football today. That's not what you do here, man. The NCAA is an acronym. The NCAA is a maid service. The NCAA is an institution that represents the University of Tennessee and others. They have rules that the other institutions have agreed on that they want enforced, except when it's them. So leave the NCAA out of this. This is a Tennessee and Nico Iamaleava thing. And for Josh Heupel, you are made to have a really awful decision, like a divorced parent. You have to tell your players, your kids, hey, we're not going to be together anymore. We're going to find a way or try to find a way to do this amicably. We're going to try to find a way to do this as adults, we hope. But that ain't going to be your quarterback anymore. That ain't going to be your daddy anymore. That ain't going to be your girlfriend anymore. That ain't going to be a person that is in your life in that way. You might see them on weekends. Frankly, Nico Iamaleava, you might see them on weekends. But the relationship between the program, between Heupel is dead. I mean, and it went further on the Tennessee side. One of the things that I was really enthusiastic, that drove this home for me, right? How hard this can be if you've never been through a divorce. Don't wish that on you. I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I also don't wish for you to go through a breakup. It's probably going to happen to you, though, dog. It just is. The thing that got it across to me was a tweet from Adam Sparks, who covers the University of Tennessee football program for the Knoxville Sentinel. He said all the photos, like he showed a photo, all the photos that have Nico Iamaleava in them have been removed from Nate Nealon throughout UT. And it reminded me, of the dude that, blocked her number, deleted all her photos. Homegirl isn't just dead. It's like she never existed, right? They are so furious. They are so mad. They are so in their feelings because it hurts so much, because this did not need to happen. Didn't need to happen. Matter of fact, probably could have come to something like a raise. We would have all given them side eye, but the way in which they came to that raise would have probably told us a lot about how they feel about each other, right? Like, if you're going to pay him $3 million instead of 2.4, that's on you, dog. Like, he didn't do enough for me to believe that he's the straw stirring your drink. And the guys that were doing the work out there played defensive line, played in the secondary, played running back, right? You would need to have Nico Iamaleava level up in a way that he hasn't, right? Now, I think for $2.4 million, go level up. Go level up. At the University of Tennessee, go level up. For the folks in Appalachia, which Appalachia covers 9 states, right? Some of them were in the Union. Some of them were in the Confederacy. All of them hard as a brick. All of them hard as a 1,000-year-old oak. All of them don't have no time for you that don't want to sit down, don't want to grab a rifle and fight, don't want to put your hands up and fight. They don't have time for you staying at home. And that's the part that I really wanted to drive home here is Josh Heupel said the breaking point came when dude stayed at home and didn't tell nobody. There's a lot of things you can be in the United States. There's a lot of things you could be in the 19th century. There's a lot of things you could be in the 20th century. There's a lot of things you could be in the 21st century. What you can't be is ghosting. That's something you do on a dating app. Something you do with someone you don't see and know. Something you don't do. That's something you do with someone who ain't your family. When it comes time to go fight and go to work, people expect you to be there. And the glorious thing about where I live, Oklahoma is the South. We could talk about why it is the South on another day, but it is the South. Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, Alabama. Again, parts of Appalachia that go all the way through to Virginia. West Virginia, which I would also call is the South. If you show up to work and you're doing the work, people will let you moan and complain. They will let you throw off your steam. They will say, hey, talk your talk until such time, right? And when it's time to go to work, though, if you're one of those people that goes to work, if you're one of those people that grabbed a rifle, cool, dog, we here. You can't be drafting. You can't be dodging, though. You can't be moving out the way. You can't be acting as if this ain't your family. You can't be going, well, it ain't my fight. No, pick a side. Pick a side. Pick a side. There's no Switzerland here. You don't get to be the guy set apart. Like, Nico Iamaleava sounds less like the dude that wanted to wear his Letterman jacket on the quad and say, hey, I'm the honey girls, come get me. And more like the dude that probably went to go see the Minecraft movie, which sucks and is lame. Quarterbacks, man. Get better advice. Turn this into a win. Don't let this be the thing that allows us to define you, Nico. And for Tennessee, Josh Heupel did exactly what I thought a dude who understands his people, who understands the mood, who understands where he is in the world would do. The man has some mooring. It's time Nico Iamaleava got some too.